Hey guys, it's Gina. Welcome to Winter Wednesday on Monday. It's taken me a long time to compile all of the questions you guys had for my Winter Wednesday FAQ, and I have now done that. And one of the requests was that you not look at my hands when I talk to you, that you actually look at my face. So here we go. So that is the answer to one of the questions. I got 51 responses, which is amazing. Not 51 questions because there were some duplicates in the questions. But I did get some 51 questions, which I thought was good and a good place to start my frequently asked questions. There were a whole host of questions, and I'm going to try to get through them in this video. Remember that if you asked a question, you were entered to win these two stamp sets that I have right here. And I put everyone's name in this little, it's not very attractive, but in this little bin. And I'm going to shake it up here and pull out a name, and let's see who wins. Oh, awesome. I love her. Here we go. Let me show you. Dima, maybe? Dima Tahi? I'm not sure. I'm not going to butcher her name any further, but that's who won, and I'm great. I'm very happy about that. I love her. Anyway, so I will get in touch with you to get your address so that we can get these stamps out to you. I'll probably mail them out on, today's Monday. I'll probably go to the post office tomorrow. I could do that. I'm actually in my scrapbook at night, which is a little bit weird. Not quite night yet. It's about 6 o'clock. My nephew is up this evening to watch. He's on spring break this week, and he's all into wrestling now, and he's up here to watch Monday Night SmackDown, or is it Monday Night Raw? I don't know. I don't know anything about wrestling, but he's up here and he's hanging out with Stu in the TV room. So I'm in here doing this, which is why I'm in my scrap room and my hair is done, in case you were wondering. So I wanted to just go through some of these questions. Some of them are going to require a little bit more, it's going to require a little bit more in-depth answer, and I'm very much willing to do that. It's just a time issue. But I'll go through and give you I'll go through all of the questions and give you a succinct answer, and then come back with a follow-up question or a follow-up video answering the question more in depth. So with all that, let's go ahead and get started. There were two themes in all of my questions, two major questions that everybody wanted answered. One, do I have a scrapbooking budget? And the other one was, how do I do my process videos? So it's very easy to answer the scrapbooking budget question. Do I have a scrapbooking budget? The answer is no. I pretty much see what I want and buy it. And the reason for that is both my husband and I work, and we don't have any children, which is, that opens up a whole lot of disposable income when you don't have children. And, a lot of people, they'll see my stash and they'll see my hauls, and, I've gotten 2 negative comments in the entire time that I've done 3. In the entire time I've done videos on YouTube, I've gotten 3 negative comments. One of them was that I'm one of those people who are in debt and don't pay their bills and have huge credit card debts because of what I buy for scrapbooking, and that's just simply not true. My husband is completely against credit. The only credit that we carry right now is our house. So all of our bills are paid. No one has to worry when I go a little crazy and spend money. Our retirement accounts are, they get money in them every month, and I don't feel like it's, I don't know, it's a weird thing to talk about on YouTube, but yeah, no financial issues here. But like I said, both my husband and I work, and we don't have any children, so there's no saving for college or anything like that, so we have a lot of disposable income. Now, granted, I spend a lot of that on my nieces and nephews. But, so no, I don't have a scrapping budget, and the follow-up question to that was, do I budget for kits versus, my other spending, and I don't. I subscribe to the kits that I want, and I buy what I want. Right now, Stu and I are in the process of, we're going to buy a new house, and so we have some work to do on this. Yes, I just got my scrapbooking room done, and we're going to buy a new house. But the room that I will have for scrapbooking in the new house is fantastic. So I'm willing to do that, no problem. But so right now, for two things, I'm on a spending freeze because I don't want to move more stuff that's already in my scrapbook room, and you know, we're gonna need we're gonna need our money now to make changes to this house and save money for the down payment on the next house. So right now, I'm on a budget of $0. I'm still gonna get my kits every month until they expire, and you know, Stu and I will talk about which ones to continue and not continue as we move into this process of buying a new house. But as it stands right now, no, I do not have a scrapping budget. The other question was about how I do my process videos. Lots of questions about that. So that is going to require a much more in-depth video than what I can give you right now. I can answer some questions about that. One was, what do I use for lighting in my process videos? Tuesday asked me that question along with some other people. And Tuesday pointed out that she knows that I scrapbook in the basement, which I do. But my house, I have a split level home. So my basement is halfway above ground. So that helps with the lighting. Although my windows are blocked by my storage units, there is some light that comes in. But mainly because I scrapbook very early in the morning when there is no natural light, I use studio lights. My husband taught theater and was a big theater geek. He taught theater for a while in New York, and he was a big theater geek in college and in high school. So when I got sick of the glare from the overhead lights in my scrapbooking room, I was like, Stu, you have to do something. I need you to put on your theater cap and figure this out. So he went through and looked at what I needed, and you know, the glare on packages was driving me a little crazy and things like that. So what he did was he did some research, you know, talked to some of his former students that still do lighting and all of that, and we came up with a solution of studio lights that we purchased. I purchased them from Amazon. They're called Cowboy Studio Lights. They have umbrellas. So there are no direct lights there's no direct light that shines down on my work surface. It's all reflective light, which is why the glare isn't as bad. I still get glare because of the natural light that comes in the window, and sometimes if I forget to turn off the overhead light, I'll get glare. But for the most part, all of my light is reflective, so it cuts down on the harsh glare that you see on work surfaces. So what happens is my lights bounce on a umbrella, and then the light bounces back. So the light is actually pointed away from my work surface towards the umbrella, and then it bounces back. And like I said, I will do a full video outlining all of how I set up my space to do process videos and things like that. I use a tripod. I use a tripod extender arm because my tripod does not sit on my work surface because I kept hitting it. And then I have the studio lights. And the other question was, what camera do I use? I use a Canon Vixia HFM 40, which is no longer available. I bought it 3 years ago. It's what I'm recording on right now. I guess I bought it 3 years ago. When I first started doing process videos, I bought it. That model is not available anymore, but you can get the upgraded model on Amazon. Marriott actually paid for mine because I had so many frequent stay points. Marriott actually paid for mine. Marriott also paid for my DSLR camera. So there are some perks to traveling all the time. Someone asked me the state that I live in. I live in Maryland. I live about 30 miles north of Baltimore, and Stu and I are looking. I live about 30 miles northeast of Baltimore, and Stu and I are looking to move 30 miles northwest of Baltimore. So that is where I live. There were a lot of questions about how I store my stamps. So you can see my clear stamps are behind me here. My wood stamps are in one of these recollection cubes. And again, it's going to require a more in-depth video to talk about how I store my stamps, but I can tell you quickly that I scan them all. I put them all in Lightroom, which is an Adobe. You could do it with any kind of photo. There was one free that I used, and I will have to look that one up for you. I can't remember what it's called, but I scan all of my stamp sets, and then I use the keywords in Lightroom. So they're stored back there by theme. So like if I'm looking for, I don't know, a boy stamp, I can go right to those CD cases and look for boy stamps. But if I'm looking for like a dog, and there's a dog in the boy stamps, That I'm not going to know that off the top of my head. So what I do is I scan all of my stamps, I import them in Lightroom, and then I use their keywords to make sure that when I'm looking for a certain stamp, I can search. So if I search dog, it will tell me it's in the stamp set that says boy 2. They're labeled back there by theme and number based on the number of, like Card Greetings has like 15 stamps, 15 cases back there. So I can, if I'm looking for the word congratulations, that could be in several stamp sets across several themes. So I can type in the word congratulations and see the actual, what it looks like, that word in all of these stamp sets just by doing a keyword search in Lightroom. And that's how I store my stamps. And that's the same way I store my wooden stamps. My wooden stamps, they're numbered and then stored over there so that I can do a keyword search if I'm looking for polka dots and I know I have a wood block stamp that has polka dots on it. So I will do a more in-depth video to show you how I set all of that up, but that is how I store my stamps. We talked about the camera that I use for doing my process videos. The other question was what I use to edit them. Right now I use Adobe Premiere. I actually subscribe to the Adobe Suite. So you get all of the Adobe products for a base fee each month, and it made sense to me to pay that. And so I use Adobe Premiere Pro. I've been using it for about 2 months maybe. And I really like it. It's very intuitive, but it has the capability, like I need a class. It has capabilities of doing much more than I can figure out on my own. I've also used Windows Movie Maker. I think that's what it's called. It does, if you're just doing process videos, you can use that Windows Movie Maker, because the only real things you need to be able to do to make a process video is turn your video so that no one's watching you work upside down, and to mute the first track, and that's your first track is your first audio track is the track that comes in with the camera. You mute that track, and then you record your voiceover over top of whatever. So you need to be able to rotate your video, speed it up, and do a voiceover, and that's all you need as far as a software to do a process video. So Windows Movie Maker, I think it's called, or whatever comes with Windows will work. I don't know anything about iMovie. We're not Mac people here. Stu is an IT guru, and he's definitely Windows based, so we have no Apple products here, but that's what I use. I use Premiere Pro. I've used the window one. I used Corel. Corel has a I got it for Christmas. Stu bought it for me for Christmas so I could do process videos while I was on the road. It's Corel. It's a Corel product. I used that. That one is very easy to use, and it's relatively inexpensive. I bought it at Christmas for about $50, and now I think it's running, like, if you don't want the disc, I think it's still, maybe it's like 40. I don't even remember. I got the disc. But if you don't want the disc, there's Corel. I will link them or put them in the comments below. But Corel's was very simple to figure out how to rotate, how to do voiceovers and things like that. And the other thing I will say about process videos, lighting, all of that, is when I first started to do process videos, I just went on Google and tried to figure it out. So Google is your friend. Type in whatever question you want, and I'm sure someone has done a YouTube video or done a blog post or something like that that answers your questions. I'm on Google a lot to figure out how, what I want to do. I want to do a title sequence in my videos right now, and I'm playing around with that. That's one of the things that Premiere Pro will do, but I'm watching a lot of process video, a lot of tutorial videos to figure out how to do that. So Google is your friend. Just get on Google and ask it whatever questions that you want, and I promise that you will find the question that you want answered. One of the next question is, what do you do when you're stumped or you lose your creative mojo? Well, to be honest, that is when I turn to all of you guys. And so I watch process videos and I get inspired by that, or I will look at a sketchbook, or I will just look at blogs and see, or do a sketch challenge or some kind of challenge where it could be a color challenge, or it could be a sketch challenge, or something like that. So if I'm not feeling in the creative mood, and then sometimes I just give myself permission not to create. I mean, this is not my job. This is my hobby. There shouldn't be any pressure in it, I put pressure on myself when I make commitments to do things, but this is a hobby. No one's paying me to do this. I'm actually paying to do this. You know what I mean? If I had a commitment where I was on a design team, and I've never been on a design team, and I don't know. I go back and forth about wanting to do that and not. I'm not sure. But if I was, I can meet deadlines. That's not a problem. I do that in work all the time. So if I had a commitment to someone else to meet a deadline, that would be a no-brainer. That commitment would be met. But right now, this is my hobby, and the only commitment I have really is to myself. So sometimes if I'm not feeling like scrapbooking, I just don't. And then if I really want to, but for whatever reason I'm in a slump, I watch YouTube videos, or I will participate in a challenge, or I will look at sketches, something like that. And that typically will get me back on track. But I will tell you that first layout that you're going to do after you haven't scrapbooked in a while is not going to be your favorite. That's just how it is. That's just when I take, sometimes life gets busy and I'm on the road a lot and I don't get time in my scrapbook room. And when that happens and I come back and do that first video back, it's very, it's not one of my favorite, it's not one of my favorite layouts. But, use it or lose it is basically the whole premise of the thing. So you want to make sure that, you're at least doing something creative. And that could be drawing a sketch for yourself when you have time or something like that. But just know that if you've been away for a while, it takes a little while to get that creative juice flowing again. The next question was, how long did it take to get to 1,500 subscribers? Did I ever think it was taking forever, and then did I ever think about quitting? I cannot believe I have 1,500 subscribers on YouTube. I don't even know what to say about that. I had no expectation when I started posting videos uploading videos to YouTube that I would ever reach 1,500 subscribers. So I never really paid attention. I have friends who pay more attention to that number than I do. And they'll, email me or text me and say, do you know that you have 1,000 subscribers or something like that? And I'm like, wow, that's impressive. Like, wow. Because I'm just not, I never set out to get subscribers. I just, that's another question. I'm going to hold off on finishing that thought. That's another question. But, so did I ever think about quitting, because it was taking so long? Well, because I never pay attention to that number. I mean, it's nice to know that people are interested in what you're doing. So I'm not going to, downplay that. But did I ever think it was taking forever? I never thought I'd get to this point, so I never had a time frame on it. Did I ever think about quitting uploading things to YouTube? No, I don't think so. Like I said, I've had those 3 negative responses. One of them, someone was very upset that I did a layout about... It was so funny. I had a layout that I did of my nephew Gabriel laying on a car. He was in the driveway. The car was parked. But he was laying on the car and with his arms stretched out. And I did a video, not a video, but I did a video, but I did a layout with a video, and I titled the layout Car Surfing. And I got reprimanded by a viewer who said that was very dangerous and I shouldn't let my kid do that. Well, my kid was standing still in the driveway, so I didn't see any issue with him laying on the car like that. And so that was, I don't know, I was a little like, are you kidding me? Like, I would never do that. And the second time I got negative feedback, somebody thought that I was just, I was doing a Project Life share, and they didn't like that I was showing off my manicure. Since you guys only look at my hands, I don't know how I can fix that. Maybe I need to get, like Vicky has, Vicky has one of those pointers. Maybe I need to get one of those. I don't know. But here's my manicure. Here it is. My stylist Tara said these are mermaid nails. So those are my nails today. But anyway, one of the viewers said I was showing off my manicure and I don't know how I'm supposed to do anything else when all you're looking at is my hands. And then the third one was about the fact that my craft room is quite overwhelming, and they were concerned about my financial stuff. So did I ever, how long did it take? I can answer that question. I started posting videos in 2012. In March of 2012, I think, is the first one that went up. And then now it's March 2014, and I have 1,500 viewers. So what I do find is that I lose viewers when life gets busy and I'm not posting videos, and then I gain viewers when, you know, you're posting more regularly, which makes sense. But did I ever feel like quitting? No. And did I ever feel like it was taking forever? No. So I got 2 questions about favorite tools. Danielle wanted to know 5 you can't live without, or just favorite tools. And I started to look around my desk and I have no real idea. I will say that I can't live without this adhesive. This is Tombow. This is Tombow permanent adhesive in this little roller here. The first time I ever saw someone use this, it was Christina Werner, and she started using it. I tried it. I love it. It's been my favorite. I think she's moved on to something else. I love it. I do have an ATG and I have several different types of adhesive, but I love this adhesive. So that would be 1. I can't live without my foam tape. Y'all know I love my foam tape. And I haven't moved to the... Tiffany and I were having this discussion the other day on Facebook. I haven't moved yet to the big roll that everybody seems to have, because the big roll is not acid free. Now that's funny considering I put wood, metal, and everything else on my layouts. I don't know. But I haven't moved to the big roll yet. I still have... I think what's going to be sad here is most of my favorite tools are adhesive. So we have the Tombow adhesive that I love, the foam adhesive, and then I can't live without my glue dots in the dispenser. I love glue dots in the dispenser. I don't like them in that, like this. Here, I can show you because I have them. Like these. I hate these. I hate them. So those are the top 3, and then... what would be my other favorite tool? Sharpies. Oh dear. Are they up here? No, I moved them down here. Sharpies. I love Sharpies. I can't live without Sharpies. And I'm always buying more. So, I love Sharpies, and you want to talk about not making any sense whatsoever. I just told you that I'm not using that roller, you know, that Scotch adhesive, because it's not acid free, and I use Sharpies, and that's not an archival pen. So there you go. So that's 4. So Sharpies, my 3 types of adhesive, and I don't know, because I haven't found a trimmer that I love. So it can't be that. I'm trying to think of something that I use on every layout that I can't live without. How about I say this? This is going to be corny and weird, but I'm going to say it anyway. And then we're going to cut this video here and we'll start again, because this is question 10. And so I'm going to cut them down to 10 questions per video. So I'm going to try to limit these to about 20-minute videos. But the number 5 is going to be you guys. I can't live without you guys. How's that? So that's corny enough to end the first video, and I will be back with part 2 in a couple seconds. So thank you guys for watching, and I will see you next time.